each. Can we please have our closing speakers? All right, over to you, Bishop High.
I'd like to extend my warmest greetings to the adjudicators and all other fellow panelists and debaters in this platform. Standing before you is Kondisi Sotana from a very prestigious institution, namely Bishop High School, and I'll be concluding on what's been discussed today. Firstly, I will inquire these two perspectives, economical and social-cultural. Firstly, social-cultural. We didn't hear what are the ethical and moral issues to consider before putting these renewable energy sources in place. We didn't hear the impact of renewable energy sources in our diverse cultures and traditions and beliefs in our country. Now to economical. We didn't hear about the revenue of our country, how it can be affected, and the maintenance of these renewable energy sources. We didn't hear about the debts of our country. We didn't hear that the debts of our country will increase or decrease because we are a less economically developed country. We didn't hear about the employment of the employees of ESCOM. Will the 42,000 people be unemployed or employed? Because some of these infrastructures are built from scratch, which leads to cutting costs and wages. Now to the economical benefit. We didn't hear about the other renewable energy sources. We only heard about the geothermal energy source. Now moving on with my statement of today. How can the society be involved in developing these renewable energy sources? Educating and raising awareness about these renewable energy sources and the benefits and importance, teaching schools, public, and the community about them. Empowering people with the knowledge and potential of developing and adapting to these renewable energy sources. The government, energy companies, stakeholders can get involved by helping into developing these renewable energy sources. This can be done through public hearings, consultations, and citizen panels. Involving the society in decision-making, building trust, including them, and leading to positive outcomes. It allows the community to take ownership of these renewable energy sources, ensuring the benefits of these sources stay in the community. Now, how can the government ensure the safe and fair use of these renewable energy sources? Provide an alternative and indigenous source of these electric powers. Increase the diversity of electric source, contribute in the flexibility of transmission of electricity. A study from the IE World Energy on 2006 states that relying on oil may increase the vulnerability of a country and prices go high with the year. Now it's 2023. Our country is still relying on oil, but with renewable energy sources, more security, they'll provide more security, especially in less economically developed countries. Reduces the geopolitical security risk by contributing into the mixed diversities of electricity. I thank you.
Cultural evolution is the study of how cultural traits, for example, beliefs and behavioral patterns, stabilize, change, and diffuse in populations, and why some cultural traits are more likely to spread than others. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed panel of judges and fellow learners. I am Ms. Matibe, the last speaker of representing the Lighthouse Academy of Learning, and I will be focusing on cultural evolution and the effect of science to culture. But before I carry on, I would like to pose a question to the first speaker of First Bank High. How can energy made out of plants and trees sustain the whole country? We know that the more we use bioproducts, the more they shrink. We're already facing issues with deforestation, and now your team proposes that we use biomass energy in order to sustain our country. Where's your team's moral moral where's your team's moral? As science communicators and scientists, we shouldn't neglect social morals and ethics. The first speaker of West Bank stated that you were coming with a proposal that would help the environment, and yet you're coming with an idea that produces air pollution. That's why the third responder of my team clearly stated that we should turn away from combustion energies, and biomass energy is one of those combustion energies. My fellow team member stated that we should stick to natural energy, that being solar energy. Now back to cultural evolution. Cultural evolution is highly relevant for emerging the SSC, Science for Science Communication, in order to help organize and guide the study of science communication and its efforts to spread scientifically accurate information and inspire behavioral change. The effects of culture to science. Culture affects the type of research that occurs. A recent study that wanted to understand the happiest subpopulation in society discovered that a group of women and single and unmarried women without children was the happiest. But this study challenges many cultural ideas that do not value the success of women, and also doesn't allow them to decide their own futures. So meaning that this study wouldn't have been conducted in the first place. And also culture affects the way the results of science are interpreted. Culture can be defined by the customs, traditions, arts, and social norms of a nation or people. Furthermore, it is a collection of shared beliefs and characteristics of a group of people. Review the vocabulary we use to discuss the culture, including culture traits, culture complex, and culture.
We advise and promote the use of renewable energy because it is achievable. Excluded hydropower and biomass for the following reasons. Hydropower would be the detriment of our country because we are a water shortage country. It would not be contributed. Biomass contributes to global warming. It would be the detriment of our economy as South Africa and the world as a whole. May the warm greetings of my salutations find you at peace in this cold era. I am the fifth speaker of Hector Peterson. I'll be dwelling more on the economic perspective. This would mean that the future will have our fossils at better use, and perishable resources would not have perished, and use them for the betterment of our society rather than exploiting them for now. Our economy suffers from labor disputes, power supply problems, and low business. This could all be solved by the power shift from non-renewable to renewable. Obliterating household debts, inflation, and consumer confidence to extinction because they have one thing in common: poverty. This would open jobs to various sectors, from engineers to architects to consumers to monitors to electricians, etc. For the betterment of our country, we must think abroad for the future. For if we dwell on the now, there still won't be a South Africa for us to live in future, for generations to come. To move on, in areas in South Africa, there are different depictions on how we're supposed to use our renewable resources. As I've said, I'll be focusing on geothermal energy, solar power, and wind power. Solar power would be most efficient in urban areas, cities, and towns because it has already been an active thing. Promoting it and discontinuing fossil fuels, the extermination of fossil fuels, would mean that it would be a more efficient way of living. And in rural areas, we would advise that we use wind power and geothermal energy, because if in rural areas there is abundant land that is not put to use, but rather forest vegetation is at brand. Geothermal energy uses its platform for the expansion of energy. Now, wind power would be most effective in farms because it has been already used in farms before. This proves that the perspective of us trying to create a new South Africa that is free of the extermination of our resources has been at use. The ignorant part of ourselves is not acknowledging it. Replacing non-renewable energy with renewable energy is the most appealing factor because it provides us the future that we want to thrive, survive, and conquer. I thank you.
Greetings to the floor at large. Standing before you is Liaka Shushu, first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to address a pressing global challenge that demands our immediate attention and collective action. Climate change, the consequence of burning fossil fuels and realizing greenhouse gases into our atmosphere are undeniable. Rising global temperatures, extreme weather events, and ecological disruptions threaten the very fabric of our planet, but there is hope. A solution lies in our reach, and that solution is a transition to 100% renewable energy sources. This fundamental shift in our energy paradigm is not only feasible but necessary to secure a sustainable future for generations to come. To achieve this ambitious goal, we must first invest in renewable energy infrastructure. Governments and private sectors must allocate substantial resources to build and expand solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal power plants. By harnessing the abundant natural resources around us, we can pave the way for a cleaner and more resilient energy grid. However, infrastructure alone is not enough. Supportive policies and regulations play a crucial role in accelerating the adoption of renewable energies. It is essential to implement incentives such as tax credits, feed-in tariffs, and renewable energy mandates to encourage business and individuals to embrace clean energy solutions. Innovation is the driving force behind progress. Investing in research and development will lead to advancements and renewable energy technologies, making them more efficient and cost-effective. Energy storage solutions are particularly vital in addressing the intermittency of renewable sources, ensuring a stable and continuous power supply when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow. Education is a powerful tool for change, but by raising public awareness about the urgency of transitioning to renewables and tangible benefits of clean energy, we can foster a greater understanding of our collective responsibility in combating climate change. Educational campaigns will empower individuals to make sustainable choices and advocate for renewable energy adoption in their communities. But the challenge of climate change is not confined within borders. It is a global crisis that demands international collaboration and cooperation. We must forge participations across nations to share knowledge, resources, and best practice in renewable energy deployment. Together we can create a ripple effect, propelling the world towards a green, more sustainable future. While governments and institutions play a pivotal role, the responsibility also lies with each of us, individuals, households, and businesses. We must embrace corporate and individual responsibilities by adopting sustainable practices and reducing our carbon footprint. Small actions can lead to significant change when millions unite in common cause. A just transition is essential as we embark on this transformative journey. We must not forget those currently working in fossil fuels industries. We owe them support and opportunities to transition to renewable energy resources sectors. By ensuring a fair and inclusive transition, we can build a future where no one is left behind. In conclusion, the transition of 100% renewable energy is not an option, it is an imperative. Thank you.
The ability to achieve something does not have a time frame. Greetings to the House at large. Standing before you is Latita Ilaga from Westbank. Now we stand here proudly supporting renewable resources such as bioenergy, and which makes us believe that they are indeed capable of transitioning to 100% and making our world a better place. Now we as Team Westbank can proudly state that indeed transitioning to 100% renewable energy is achievable. So, our dear supporters of Economic from Hector Peterson have stated that load shedding is taking a toll, rather proving to be disadvantageous to businesses and consumers as well. Now, hence why we as Team Westbank continue to enhance and also embrace the use of renewable resources such as bioenergy to generate sustainable and also consistent energy. Now, we have stated that bioenergy is derived from organic materials like plants and waste, and also agricultural residues, of which this makes it entirely renewable and also sustainable, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we went on to our policy and stated that we, as the economic side from Team Westbank, support getting 25% of the budget that is used in the generation of coal and then rather investing it in renewable resources, ladies and gentlemen. This was said by my reply speaker, clearly emphasizing on the fact that we could have cash incentives, financial aids from the government, and also each and every other forms of financial aid, ladies and gentlemen. So we also mentioned the benefits of transitioning to 100% renewable resources, also emphasizing on the fact that these benefits prove to us that it is rather achievable. So we mentioned that it was cost saving, ladies and gentlemen. So this means that renewable resources are capable in reducing energy expenses for both consumers and also businesses. The price stability, ladies and gentlemen. Also, inflation and fuel prices decrease. When we no longer depend on coal, ladies and gentlemen, but rather renewable resources, then this basically means that the inflation, also fuel prices, will definitely decrease, and they, the form of energy that we use to produce electricity will not have an effect on the inflation and also fuel prices, ladies and gentlemen. Also, increasing jobs and decreasing unemployment, ladies and gentlemen, emphasizing increasing jobs and decreasing unemployment, ladies and gentlemen. Now, decreasing climate change as well. So, using renewable sources such as bioenergy combats climate change, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to answer a question that was directed to us from Lighthouse, carbon dioxide that comes from the burning of these plants or other waste is then cancelled out by the plants that are planted once again in the form of a process that we all know, which is photosynthesis, of which you all know that photosynthesis, these plants produce oxygen, ladies and gentlemen. So just to answer another question that was directed to us by Hector Peterson, ladies and gentlemen. So we as Team Westbank clearly stated that we do support each and every single form of renewable resource that could potentially help and also save our country from this depressing state of having frequent energy power cuts, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Hector Peterson clearly contradicted themselves by opposing and also shaming another very useful form of renewable resource, ladies and gentlemen. They came here and also stated the fact that they advise and promote the use of renewable resources. Contradiction.
I think they deserve another round of applause. Thank you very much to our closing speakers. You may take your seats. Thank you. We will now give 15 minutes to our judges to deliberate on the scores, and then we'll reconvene here for our award ceremony. Thank you very much. You're a beautiful audience.
Family quase me mata não. Não tinha mesmo muita. Como ele mesmo. Oh, ele vai. Vai, não.
During the week.
you.